Good morning, guys. Hopefully we are now live, and hopefully the audio quality is a lot better than my last live stream because it was a bit messed up last time. It says we are live, so I'm going to go that we're live. So today I thought I'd just do another live stream to kind of piggyback off the live stream I did the other day that kind of failed because the audio was all messed up. So I'm just going to work on this track, but I also thought it'd be a good idea for you guys to send me some tracks. It's something I want to try and do weekly. So if you send me either, like a SoundCloud link or, any link really, anything that's not going to give me a copyright strike, so make sure your track's not copyrighted. I will play it on the stream and then give you guys some feedback on your tracks during the stream. You can also send me a project file. The file size will be a bit bigger, so I'd have to download that. But that'd be even better because I could give more of an in-depth kind of review of what's going on there on your tracks, and maybe some in-depth things I would change, and look at the plugins you're using, looking at your settings for maybe your mastering or anything like that. I thought it'd be a good idea. If you're not watching this live and you're watching this back after it's been live on YouTube, still comment below with links to your tracks or a Google Drive link to the project file, and I will still use that in the next video I do, because I really want to get the ball rolling with this, and like I said, do it a weekly thing, maybe do a few tracks in a video. So yeah, if you do watch this, leave a link down below and I will 100% get that in the next video, especially if we only get a few, and we'll try to keep that rolling, and I think it'll be a good thing for the channel to do. So yeah, so like I say, I'm just going to work on this track. I did play it a little bit in the last live stream, but I've worked on it since then, which I didn't live stream because the audio was almost up, but that should be sorted now. We shouldn't have any issues going forward. Yeah, so let's play that here and see where we're up to, so you guys can listen.
A great pianist told me once, if you take care of the music, it will take care of you. And if you're true to it, you're going to get what you need. You just have to put all, you can't just put a little bit, you got to put it all in there.
and then we kind of go to an outro. So it's a little bit short at the minute. I think it's about 3 minutes. Yeah, 3 minutes 7 seconds. So I need to kind of extend it, probably add about 30 seconds onto there, but that's the general structure of the track that I'm working on at the moment. I added a little vocal in here. I was looking for quite a while to try and find some decent vocals, but it's getting harder and harder to find them now. So what I did is just looked online on YouTube for you know, quotes about music or advice for musicians. As you can see down here, this is the actual thing. It's quite long. And then I just got snippets out of it, cut snippets out of it for my vocal, which is this, and added some effects onto it.
Larry Willis, a great pianist, told me once, if you take care of the music, it will take care of you. And if you're true to it, you're going to get what you need. You just have to put all of it. You can't just put a little bit. You got to put it all in there.
So I thought that sounded pretty cool and fitting well with what I was working on. I might go through this a bit more and try and pick out what would be like kind of a second verse for another breakdown, and that's going to be my extra 30 seconds, I would imagine. But there's still some stuff I want to do in here. Like I still need to work on the mixing of the track. I've done a bit of EQing as I was kind of making the track, because there's a lot of layers here with the strings and then the trance elements over here, which is this. So we've got like it layered up to a lower end and a higher end, so I've had to EQ that a little bit. In fact, those two tracks don't have the EQ turned on. It sounds alright. It's mainly when it comes down here, so I'd imagine these... Or maybe not. Maybe I didn't save the EQ and edit on that. I thought I did. Oh well. Still doesn't sound too bad. We've got I'm using bleh, if it loads, Ozone's thing here for the mastering. This is Ozone 7 Advanced. We've just got a equalizer, dynamics and a maximizer on there just to make it sound big. Yeah, so I've got a bit of yeah, so on the strings I've got some EQing going here. So I've really been diving deep into Logic's own strings, and they're just amazing. Honestly, I've used a lot of plugins over the years, and you know, finding using the XS24 as a sampler for these strings, and then running some reverb through them and stuff like that, you can just make some awesome sounds like this. See what I mean? And then you just like add the violas. They just sound amazing. I've got some more strings down here. Sounds like violins, is that, I think? And then a nice big pad down there using Spire. What else we got? That says flutes there, but I don't think it is flutes, is it? Might be. Oh, it is. And then a piano as well. Which together, so these are just doing kind of the chord progression that's throughout the track. So this is just the standard chord progression I made. If you want to know how I made these chord progressions, I do have a video on my channel explaining how I make my chord progressions. And it's very simple. You don't need a lot of music theory. You can kind of cheat it. So check that video out rather. If you're struggling with that. And then for this piano, all I did was kind of stack those chords. If I do this, so you see this would have been I've just played with the position of the chords and then gone from the bottom note So that will start there, and then the next bar will be there, there, there. So you get the dun dun dun, and then that sounds it sounds like a bit of a melody on top of there, but it's actually using the same chord. So I have a love-hate relationship with Logic Strings. They're so wonderful, but sometimes I feel they're just not quite enough. It's hard to explain, but maybe I just don't know how to layer well. Yeah, I think the secret definitely is the layering behind it. I think on their own they do seem a bit underwhelming, but when you stack them up together, I think they come out great. Like this little bit here, I'm really happy with. Ooh, what happened there? Where are we? Yeah. This bit here, I'm like, I love this bit here. I mean, that sounds awesome to me. I suppose like you would get better strings from using Kontakt and stuff, but I just can't be bothered with Kontakt, like installing it and then installing the packs that I want, and they're really massive downloads as well. And I constantly find like oh, I've got this pack here that has some strings, but I need a piano, and I can use Logic's piano, but then if I'm using Kontakt, I really want to try and just use Kontakt for all the instruments to kind of get that same similar sound. Even though I'm using strings versus piano, you still want that same synth, using the same instrument kind of thing. So yeah, and then we've got these nice trancey synths up here, which go very well together. So as I said before, that's kind of the higher bit, and that's kind of a low mid bit, and they're just coming from Spire, I believe. So yeah, they're just presets I found going through Spire, which is automated. I've automated the filter cutoff here, and then created a separate track for this kind of lead-in here. Which is then running through a high-pass filter and automating that. I don't know why they sound so... It kind of drops off a little bit, doesn't it? That one doesn't, but so I think it must be this top one here. Let's have a look. So I think it's the volume difference here between that and that. So is that clipping? That one's not. That one's not. Oh, I wonder what I heard there. Hey Logan Z, have you got any tracks that you want me to listen to and give you some feedback on? That's the main thing I really want to do in this live stream, so if you can get the ball rolling, that'd be great. If you've got anything you want me to listen to. Something doesn't sound quite right on this bit. When I listened to it a second ago, it might be this kick here, this impact here. Maybe it's clashing with that. Yep, definitely is. So does that have a that has an impact on the start of that by the sounds of it? Yeah. So what I need to do is probably delete that one. That still sounds too bassy. Let's take some of this low end out. It's better. I might be able to put that back in. And then we're just reintroducing that piano down here, I think, which is just that little melody on top there, just to remind them that that melody's there. So I really like this drop here, so you basically got complete silence up into the snare. So I really like that. Alright, so what do I want to do? I need to add some EQing. I need to go through some EQing on this track, and also try and add a bit more time onto it because it's a bit short. So, are they overlapping, those MIDI regions? No, they're not. So, let's listen to this. So this is kind of a lower end, so I want to clip some of that highs up here. I'm actually not going to mess with that too much because I feel like it's hurting the sound. You know, sometimes you just don't need to EQ. So, especially when it's only those two instruments playing at that moment. So I might go back to that and try and fine tune it a little bit. But right now, that sound doesn't sound too bad to my ears. What about this next bit here? Is there any EQ we need to do here? That could probably be a bit louder. So we're using a LFO tool here to get that nice sidechain compression. What I like to do is load the preset up for the sidechain, which I usually use number 2, and then kind of bring up this high end a little bit just to make it a bit more pumpy. And that's my my settings that I use for LFO tool. What I like to do for like dubstep and stuff tracks is bring the rate down to half, and that slows it down so you're getting that rather than the sidechain there. So if you are using, if you are making dubstep and whatnot, then make sure you are changing the way that you are sidechaining. It's pretty important, and on some tracks that people send me, I do hear that people are still using a quarter sidechain, which doesn't sound right. I mean, it can sound good, but it's better to use a half, I reckon. There's a phaser going off on there, I think, that I can hear. I don't know if I like it. Now one of the synths is bringing that same melody back that piano playing, so this here. So that what you can hear there is being played by one of these. I think it is this here. What would go well on this would be some vibrato. I can't remember how you do that in Spire, because I've only just recently gone back to Spire again. I was kind of sticking to Massive and, you know, Nexus and stuff like that, and I've recently gone back to Spire, and I can't remember how you do vibrato. I'll have to look into that. Can I see anything here? You could probably automate the detune to get a bit of vibrato, but meh. Yeah. So here what we're doing is rolling off that bottom end and boosting these like around 2K on the EQ, just to make sure that pops out a little bit through all the other mix. Let's do a quick Google. Spire vibrato. So people are routing the LFO to get a vibrato, which is kind of a long ass way of getting that. Remember guys, you're free to send me any tracks that you are currently making that don't need to be finished, or any previous tracks that you've done over the years. Feel free to send them to me through the live chat, or message me with a link to it, and I'll get those up on the stream and we can listen to it together, and I'll give you some feedback. So yeah, it does sound like people are just using LFO. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, so just tinkering with the LFO. So what's this that I've got muted down here? Let's bring that back in and see how that sounds. That doesn't sound too bad. Let's drop that an octave. See how that sounds. I think that's actually what I've done. So I think this is just the lower octave of this, and then I've just listened to that and thought, oh, that would sound better if it was a lower octave, and then that's what I've originally done by the sounds of it. It's good to know that you can trust your own decisions. let's try adding another LFO, another oscillator, sorry. There's a bit of noise. Not that loud. YouTube doesn't allow links in chat, so I can't share the link with you. Any ideas? That's a bummer if that's right. You could message me it. Or can I send you a music file and you edit for me? I pay PayPal, you cash. You can definitely send me the music file if you send me the Logic project file, but you can definitely not send me any cash to do so. You can do. I will do it 100% for free on the stream. You just, yeah, I think the best way to do it would be to just send me a message, and I should receive it then. And then I can just open the link. However you download. Is it just like a SoundCloud link, or this a new channel? Gonna send something over. Would like to know what you think. This is not a new channel. I've had this for many years. I've just started doing the live streaming. Well, I've done it a couple of times in the past. But yeah, you can send me a message with any tracks or anything, and we'll listen to it for you. Right, so how do I get to? Let's get to my messages. Alright, I've got that, Logan. Thank you very much. Let's have a look. So we'll download that. I'll make a little folder on my desktop here. Info, we'll call it, just so I remember what it is, YouTube Music Sent In. YouTube Music Sent In. There we go. And we'll pop that in there, and then what I'll do is I will rename it to the person who sent me it. Just in case I need to get it back for any reason. Right, so I'll save my track. Save. Only thing is, if you've got any instruments that I haven't got installed, that's going to be an issue. Which it doesn't look like you have. Some additional content is needed. Do you want to download it? Go for it. So here's your arrangement. Been watching Nate for years now, he's great. Thank you very much for the continued support, man. It's very, very, very much appreciated. I kind of feel like I have to apologise because my content is not, it's not consistent at all, which I'm trying to change. How do I send stuff? If you just send me a YouTube message, Reese, that'd be great, and I'll be able to get it that way. Right, so let's have a listen to this. I don't know if it's finished downloading the thing because nothing popped up afterwards. So I don't know if it installed what it needed to install, but let's have a listen. like that sound. I like those plucks. Right, what's happening here is this bass that we're getting here is not what you meant at all, is it? That's actually a kick. Boom, ch, boom, boom, ch, boom, ch. I'm guessing that's what it meant by the it having to download the thing. So how do I get that to work then? Unless I'm totally wrong. Yeah, missing hard techno remix. So how do I get that to download? Download sound library. Download. Sounds. Click to download the complete set of sounds so that you can pause it by clicking the progress file in the LCD. Ah, so this is what we're downloading. So if we just wait a second, this is just downloading. Those are supposed to be drums. Yeah, I thought so. I like these plucks. I definitely like these plucks. Oh, using Alchemy. I've not really used this much. Those plucks. Yeah, I really like that. And you're sending those to bus 4. Let's have a look what's on bus 4. Ooh, so you're doing a lot of routing here through the buses. Which you're just running through your space designer for your reverb. You got your chorus on there. Very good stuff. So let's see if this is going. So is that just going to start installing by itself? Yeah, there we go. Oh, what's this? Installing. There we go. Have we got any other So if anybody else has sent any messages, I've not received them. I've only received Logan's so far. Right, so now, do I need to reopen this? There we go, that's it. Let's listen again. Oh, I love a piano breakdown. Lovely. Maybe add some reverb to that piano. I'd say the only thing I could say really so far is this bass could probably be a bit more punchier. Like I like the sound, but I don't feel like it's breaking through the mix enough. So you've got it EQ'd and you're boosting these high ones, getting rid of some of the bass, which but then you don't have much bass going on anywhere else either. You see how you've kind of got rid of all the bass? I don't know if it's this, if you've automated the EQ anywhere. Yeah, so like this is your main bass, and you've kind of dropped some of the low frequencies there and put a bit of a dip on the low end below that. So I probably wouldn't do that. I'd probably get rid of this. And then probably, you know, use some sidechain compression as well. Like I say, I just usually use this. Smooth it out to get rid of those clicks. And then all I've done there is boosted your gain on the compressor a little bit, just to make it punch through a little bit. And then these probably need a bit of EQing as well, just to boost these mid-ranges. You've ducked your low end, which is good because you want room for your kick and your bass, but then I would probably go a little bit step further and add another, you know, a bit more boosting in these areas. Make them a little bit brighter and punch through a little bit. That's good for a little bit of texture. And then these vocals, well, call them vocals, just like. So are those part of a? Have you recorded those yourself, or is that part of a thing? Akon's right now sounds a little bit like, yeah, it does have some Akon vibes. I think it's that vocal that's doing that. Sounds like Martin Garrix minus the build up and drop. I definitely like those. I have had a go at trying to make those kind of vocals myself, but it didn't turn them out. It didn't turn out very well. But yours sound really good. I cut them myself. Cool. So is that from a longer loop that you've cut? Yeah, so you see the bass has a little bit more punch now, to my ears anyway. Bear in mind I'm using my own earphones, so it might sound a bit different on yours, but yeah, that's what I would do. I'd probably just punch that bass a little bit more. Especially when you're starting out with just a kick and the bass, you need that bass to be really like poof, in your ears, you know what I mean? I see that you've boosted the gain up on your mix here. What I would probably do is get that back down to 0, just so you have more control. If you need to boost that later on, you can. What you could do is either use a gain over here to boost your audio, and then you still have control of your mixer slider there if you need to ever adjust it. Because if you ever want to automate the volume and you're already at +6, you would have to literally draw your, manually draw in your automation, where if you use a gain, you can automate the gain and still use your slider to go up and down, and that will move your automation up as well. Well, not really move your automation like on the thing, but you will get a volume like plus dBs in volume while keeping your automation there, if you understand what I mean. So that's what I would do with that. What else was I gonna do? I'll probably whack a compressor on there just to boost this back up again. So we'll turn that off. Want us attack straight up. So as you can see there, we're at the same. We've boosted the volume slightly, but without using that mixer slider, and we're going through a compressor, so we're kind of getting more tangents in that pluck because you really want it to stand out. So I've added a little bit of boost there to the high end frequencies just above 5K. Because that sounds like, well, to me that sounds like it would be a leading sound, so you really want it to take the lead, so it needs to be, everything else needs to be kind of follow that. Ooh, very nice. That's very nice. I like that. That's just a reverse crash. And then what else you could do is probably if you bring where your claps come in, is that here? So we've got his claps in from the beginning. See, I don't really use these sequencers for my drums and stuff. I just tend to use loops. So my experience with this is pretty low, but I'm not sure how you would add, like, say, reverb to a certain instrument. I don't know if that's possible, the way you've done it. Like I say, you're probably better at this than me. But what I would do is split those up. So you've got your clap on one. And then add a bit more. It already, from what I can hear, it already has a reverb on there. And then they're kind of piercing through. I would try not to boost these high-end frequencies too much because they're that high that you can't really hear them. So I would probably drop that boost down, knock that off just there, and then boost it further onto the left over here. And you see we're getting on the analyzer, you can see some low-end frequencies in here. Now they're going to conflict with your kick and your bass. So I would do a low-end cut here, about 50 Hz. Maybe even more. So yeah, I would still even though you can't really hear those low end frequencies, I would still cut them out and make sure you're using the analyzer in your EQ to make sure you're not getting those little bassy bits, because they will conflict and cause you trouble later on while you're trying to mix and master. And the same again with this, I wouldn't. Those vocals, you've done really well with them. Those are really sticking out to me as a feature for this track. And I think right now, I mean, all you've done EQ-wise is drop that low end. But right now, they're sounding really good, even EQ-wise. So I wouldn't mess with those too much. You're in a good place with those. I think those claps are a bit too loud now. Unless there's another clap somewhere. Yeah, so we've got this other clap here, so we can probably get rid of this as well. Like I say, this might not be the best way to do these, it's just what I would do. And then what you got here. So you got a hi-hat, which again, me personally would split those. So I would get rid of those there, get rid of that there. Then you've got your hi-hats on a separate little channel, which can get rid of all that and boost those at around 3K. You want to really hear that through your mix. So really stand out a little bit more. And what I'm going to try and do is reset channel strip. Get rid of that. Go with Spire. So I've got mine automatically loading up on this bass because I usually start with my bass. So let's see how this sounds with your MIDI notes. I really like that bass. It's got a lot of texture to it. And then again, I would add my LFO tool to that to get a bit of sidechain compression. Or you could even use that similar bass with your bass. But then obviously you need to make sure you're EQing properly to get what you want out of each bass. So the attack on that bass is pretty good, it's pretty prominent. Boom, it's in your face. I could probably get a lot of this top end here away from me. Just slight roll off there just to get rid of those excess. That melody needs to be louder, you mean this? I'll probably add some white noise as well, maybe. Let me have a quick search for what white noise I've got. Just a little bit, just some in the background there, just like tss, 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 tss. Not too loud, but it'll be there. A bit softer, something like that. We'll go with this here. Repeat that. It's too fast. Yeah, so it's too fast in it because you're working at 120 and this is 128. So if you put that to there, that should sort that out. So It's there, but you can't really hear it much. Now you've got a little break in your drums here, which I would probably make more stand out a little bit more. So what's this bit on here? So I'll probably do the same with that. Yeah, and then you could possibly add a filter maybe, or some pitch bend, or just some sort of slowdown here. So if you go here, I'm just randomly doing stuff here. It could sound crap. What we're looking for, we want pitch bend. So we need that 0. Why is that not working? Probably not. No. Scratch that, that sounds crap. Maybe a high pass filter? See, this is more of a pop track, and I'm more of a kind of dancey guy. Put that to latch. I'll probably put this on its own track if it was mine, because you do get a low end cut off from down there. Something like that. And then we'll come back into this here. Just to get that impact a bit more, and you probably need some percussion, crashes and whatnot here, so just a tsh, which I think, is this not a crash? So I'll put that there just to get that impact again. So why can't you hear those strings? What's going on there then? That's why. Do you like Ghetto Boys G-Code keyboard? No idea what you're talking about there. Let's have a look. My trusty friend. Let's have a look. I can't really play it because of the what I'm going to do is I'm going to just mute the audio so I don't get a copyright strike, so just bear with me 1 second. Yeah, I like that, man. That's got some good strings. Yeah, I definitely dig that, man. I would even say go as far as to add. I'm adding that to my Spotify. Usually, I don't really listen to like that sort of hip hop thing, but I like the strings that he's using. It goes really well with the rapping. Yeah, thanks, man. Are you sending in a track? SAS Productions. Are you sending anything in just so we can move along? I hope that's been a help for you, Logan, man. Is there anything else you would like me to specifically have a look at? Let me know. You need to make this piano more epic. Have we got any automation running on there? So we haven't got any automation. Tape delay we've got. So you're EQing a lot of that. But while we're in this breakdown, that's the only instrument you've got playing, so I wouldn't EQ it too much. Now, when you bring all your other instruments back in, I would create a new track, maybe EQ it there, just so we're not conflicting with any other frequencies. But right now in the drop, this is the only instrument that's playing, so I wouldn't say you need to EQ it, because that's going to hurt the overall feel of your piano, which is, like I said before, I really love piano breakdowns. True Pianos is a good plugin for pianos, bit expensive for what it is though. Yeah, I used to use that because I don't know if you've heard of will.i.am and his track This Is Love. That I used to love that track. It's a bit repetitive when I listen to it now, but when that came out, that piano in that was absolutely brilliant. And then I downloaded a MIDI for that because I wanted to make a remix of it, and it actually loaded in saying that he used True Pianos, and that's when I tried downloading it. It is a good plugin. But yeah, I agree, it's a bit expensive, as are all these plugins, really. Right, so we need some reverb on there. I'm going to use my trusty Valhalla reverb. Not so much. Probably add in some another octave of these lower notes. Sounds a lot better. You maybe need like a melody playing there as well. What about this? What does this sound like? Maybe this? I'll send something into you, but not at the mo, bro. Alright, no worries. Well, if you still send it in when you're doing it, like I say, I'm going to try and make this a weekly thing where I just chill out on a live stream and listen to your guys' music. So I hopefully will get a backlog of people's tracks, so I've always got something to listen to and go through, regardless of if someone's sat in the chat sending me it there and then or not. What I'm doing is just making a folder on my desktop. I'm going to whack them in there, and then I'll just go through the list. Hopefully we'll get quite a few, and these live streams will be worth doing. Wow. What are we saying, Wouter? So did we do something you like? everything. I'm getting emotional, man. Haha, thanks for all these tips. No worries, man. That's what I want to achieve with these. It's really good to get another perspective on it. I mean, it's alright showing tracks to your friends and your family, but they're all going to say it's good, whether they think it's shit or whether they think it's good. But so yeah, it's good. Hopefully, this idea of doing feedback on these streams is good for everybody. Myself, because I get to, you know, help out and listen to other people's music, and good for you guys to get feedback from someone who's I'm going to tell you something that doesn't sound right in my ears, rather than worry about hurting your feelings, because I know it's better to have constructive criticism than getting people who are just telling you it's great just for the fun of saying it's great, to not hurt your feelings. When I know there's no feelings involved, really, me personally, I would rather have constructive criticism than everybody telling me it's great. I would much rather hear the bad things. I would rather hear that one person that's saying that kick doesn't sound right. All right, okay, well, I'll go fix that. I would much rather that, and hopefully you guys do too. So I'm glad that you're. Thanks for all these tips. Yeah, no worries, pal. Another good plugin that I like to use, you've probably seen it in a few of my videos, is Effectrix. Sugar Bytes Effectrix. No, not dual mono. We don't need dual mono. That would be good for this lead sound, maybe, just to add a bit of stuttering. I like a bit of stutters. If it decides to load. My Effectrix is broke, apparently, for some reason. There we go. And then you can kind of just paint. So I like that bit there, around here. This sounds cool. I probably wouldn't go for the vinyl, it sounds a bit too in your face. Yeah, I wouldn't go for the vinyl. So I think that effect is really good for adding a bit of variation in your thing, especially when you do it over 16 bars, because it kind of separates your, with the different notes playing as well as with this rhythm, you kind of get variation in how each note sounds, and it differentiates from one beat to the next. Tinker with it though. You could even go to just spread these notes out a little bit, add that to there, and then bring that up an octave. Sounds alright. See, that one little note change there adds a lot to this chord, I think, because it kind of resolves it a bit better, and it brings out that emotional feeling that I think you're trying to achieve with those strings, if you get what I mean. Now, in my opinion, that sounds a bit better. Maybe something to look at, just trying to spread your notes out a little bit. All I've done is copied a lower octave there. And then if you listen with the piano as well. And then you could possibly do the same, or if not, add some more notes up here. So like, if we go back to your piano, let's listen to this for a second. Where did we go? Down to there? Yeah. Doon, ding, 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 ding. And you could possibly even add like a little step half note there. Maybe a quarter note. Dun, 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 dee, 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 dee. Will that fit? Might be down here. I don't know if that's in key. No, that one's not. I think it'd have to be there. Or maybe get rid of that one and just keep that one. And then that should go with the strings a little bit better. So what we need now is that one little key. We need that to peek through our mix. It's there. It's around there, about 1K, 750. So that should peek through a little bit better now. There you go. Right, so I'm going to save that. I mean, you take whatever you want from that. What I'll do is Nate Barris at the end of it. And then it's up to you if you want me to send that to you, or you can just work on it off your own back. It's totally up to you, pal. I don't mind either way. Let me know if you want me to send that back to you, and I'll upload it to Google Drive and send that for you. What I'm going to do is open up my other track that I've been working on. Please send that to you. Yeah, will do. No worries. Let me just upload it to my drive for you. The only problem you're going to get is the instruments that I've added to that. You might not necessarily have those installed, so you might start getting some errors. But the information will still be there. You just need to change the instrument for anything that doesn't show up. Okay. So this is another track I've been working on. I'll play that for you. That kick's very loud. So what do you think to that? I really like this lead that I've got there, which is pretty much the advice I gave on your track with the Effectrix. If I go to my Effectrix here, you can see I've just drawn something to add a bit of texture to it. So with the lead there, these chords are just repeating, but then this lead is kind of going off on its own thing, and you've got two separate sections there, which is a good way of making sure it doesn't get too repetitive, which is something you could again bring into your track. If you just try and create like a sub melody to go next to it, so it kind of leads on, but it needs to resolve properly to go back into your original one. So as you can tell, that one, it kind of goes off on its own little story, if you will, but it always resolves back, and it sounds okay restarting again. It sounds so complex and way above anything I could do, but when you show everything, it's really quite simple. That's the trick. That's always the trick. Everything, less is always more. As long as you're layering properly, you can get really complex sounds from really simple things. Yeah, so it's something to try and stick with, is don't overcomplicate things. There's been tracks where I've looked and I've gone through my own tracks from years ago, and I've just thought, why the hell did I do that like that? And it's just, the more simple you can get your ideas onto this screen, the better. So just don't, especially in the early stages, don't try and overcomplicate things. Things will just come naturally. And my Logic just crashed. Great. Okay. That's probably because I'm streaming. Right. I'll do what I was going to do then, shall I? There we go. So yeah, I really do want some vocals for this, but it's really hard. I've found some here, but I can't remember what they are. So those vocals don't sound too bad. This synth here needs a bit of EQing because it just sounds a bit muddy. So what I'm doing there is this around here is where I think my muddiness is about 300-350 Hertz, so I'm just trying to counter that. The unfortunate thing is that I live in the US and your live streams are when I'm just heading to sleep. I'm very glad I stayed up for this one though. Yeah, I am trying to kind of learn when the best time to stream is. I think it's just better. The more I stream, the more people like you will come in and tell me that it's kind of crap for you for me to stream this late on for you, but for me it's like 5 to 11 in the morning, and I work a full-time job, so it's hard for me to live stream consistently. But like I say, as we go on and more people come into the stream and tell me when the best time is I'll try and kind of fit it around everybody, I suppose. So that's cleaned that up quite a lot, I think. SAS Productions. I'm from England. Whereabouts in England are you from, man? So the arpeggiation of this lead here is actually handled with Inspire. Now what I need to try and do is work out what it's doing with my notes there, and try and redo that in the arpeggiator actually in Logic, because I want to have full control of that arpeggiation. I don't like the fact that that's just constantly looping and I have no real say in what's happening. So I do need to try and figure out the arpeggiation on that. Which I'll do for another time once we get further on, if I even stick with this track. As you can see up here, this is Nate B featuring New Shoes, Don't Mind, but that's the last track I actually released, which was quite a while ago. But the synth which I use, which is this, I think. If you go on my, if you go look back at my other videos for that track, the Nate B featuring New Shoes, Don't Mind, that synth is from that, and that's a good thing to do when you're trying to kind of build a new track. Just look at what you did last time and what synths kind of excited you and inspired you to make tracks then, and that's what I did with this one. I created this whole track was based on that one synth. I mean, and you can't even hear it that much, so it's good. Like, I mean, you can hear it through here, but it's kind of, that was like one of the main synths in my other track, but this one's is kind of a sub melody. Coventry, very nice. Right, guys, so I'm going to call it a day. I'm from, it's a place called Nottingley. It's a small town, really. It's kind of near Leeds. If you ever heard of Leeds, surely you would have heard Leeds. I'm just near there, really. But yeah, I'm going to call it a wrap soon, guys. So if there's anything else you want me to take a look at or discuss, now's the time to do it. But I'm happy to stick around for 5 more minutes. This is really off topic, but whatever happened to you get the fuck up track from a few years ago? I was loving that one. So was I. I could just never finish it. Like, honestly, it's one of the tracks that I've probably spent the most amount of time on. Let me just see if I can find it. Now this is gonna be fun. I don't even know what the thing was called. Oh, I really want to try and find it now. From Birmingham, cool. I need to find what the project was called. Right there, if I look back at my videos, I should be able to see what the actual project is called. It was making an EDM. What was it? Was it making a club banger? Yeah, that's it. So it was GTF View. That's what it was called, so I can't find it. Is it in my drive? Ah, there we go. Let's see how long it'll take to download, and we'll go through that if you want. We'll have a quick look through. If it's gone, I'll cry. Yeah, I think I've got it on my drive. I'm not sure how big the actual file is. I don't know why it's not on my computer. But I started doing that for a while. I started, yeah, I started working just on Google Drive, so I had everything backed up. But then I stopped using it, so half of my stuff's on there and half of it isn't. Let's have a look what other stuff we've got. I'll tell you what I did. I did a, do you know Avicii, You and I once did a remix of that never saw the light of day, if you want to hear that. Sylinth Nexus. I haven't got those plugins installed anymore. So this was a remaster of that. Now I don't know if I'm gonna get if this is gonna get took off because of the vocal. If I turn it, I'm gonna turn the vocal down, so you know we can't thingy. So hopefully we don't get a strike on this. But this is a while back, by the way. And there's going to be stuff missing. I'm going to turn the vocals down. So there's supposed to be a Nexus there. I love this song. Yeah, sorry, I don't know why I said Avicii. I have done an Avicii track before. I was thinking of that, I think. No, this isn't even the track I'm thinking of. I did do an Avicii track that I was trying to show you. I mean, that was an alright remix that I did there, which I never finished. It's not that what I'm looking for. What was it now? No, that one here. I don't know why I opened that. We don't need to save that. Maladine. I've not used that for a very long time. Skip all. This isn't probably even going to work. Nah. I can't bother with that. What's this? Yeah, I don't know what that is. That sounds awful. Do you do grime instrumentals? I don't really. I just kind of do what I'm feeling that day. I've got so many old projects. What's the old Avicii track that I'm thinking of? I can't remember. I thought it was, for some reason I thought it was like You and I. Let me have a look through here. Music projects. Shut the fuck up. Say something about project. Just no. Right. Anyway, I've got this. Get the fuck up now. Let's listen to this. Again, I'm probably gonna have some stuff that's not installed, I would imagine. Oh, I really wanted to hear that Avicii track that I did. I just don't know where it is. Right, so we've got some effects here that I haven't got installed anymore. Nexus. He's trying to use Nexus, so that's a bit of a bummer. I can't get Nexus to work anymore. there's something missing. Ah, it's Nexus as well. The main instrument's gone.
I woke up, took a shot to the brain. I guess the after party got a little. I'm living life like I don't give a fuck. Everybody on the.
What we'll do is copy that over just so we've got a bit of an instrument.
I woke up, took a shot to the brain. I guess the after party got a little insane. And now I'm living life like I don't give a fuck. Everybody on the dance floor, get the fuck up.
So we're missing the main instrument there. We're supposed to have Nexus there. This is a track that single-handedly convinced me to get Nexus 2. I don't even own Nexus 2. I was using Nexus 1 for this. Yeah, which I don't have installed anymore. I would did you buy Nexus 2? Because I really want to buy it myself, but it's a lot of money, isn't it? I probably have a version of this with all the stuff, bells and whistles on it. Let me just... so that was February 15th. And that was February 15th. So if I play that, I can listen to that with all the with the right instruments. His Nexus were thinking of getting it myself. I've currently got Massive and Silent. So the thing with Nexus is it's what's called a rompler. So it's just playing samples of tracks. It's not actually generating the sound. It's just playing single notes, but in the key that you program it to. Whereas Silent, Massive, and what are actually generating the sounds. So that's something to keep in mind with Nexus, and it's pretty limited. I mean, you can mess with your cutoff filters and envelopes and whatnot, but it is slightly more limited than a normal synth. But it is really good, especially for starting a track, because it's the sounds are like pre-programmed. You're there already, most of the time. Like you can find a good sound straight away without having to tweak a lot. That bass. That pluck. Oh, I need to go back to this track and finish it.
I woke up, took a shot to the brain. I guess the after party got a little insane. And now I'm living life like I don't give a fuck. Everybody on the dance floor, get the fuck up.
So this is what puts me off about this track. The drop just isn't as good as the rest of the track, and that's why I never got around to finishing it, because I spent hours and hours and hours, even off stream. I did a lot of it on stream for those streams that I were doing like consistently, making that club banger, because I made that whole track from nothing. And when we got to the drop, like, I feel like it just got worse the more I worked on it, and I just couldn't find that sparkle, and I never got there, and that's where it sits right now. with this what you're listening to now. So I do need to go back to it. I need to get Nexus installed if I can, because apparently it's incompatible with Sierra. I know Nexus 2 will work, but Nexus 1, what I was working, isn't, and I don't really want to spend the money for Nexus 2. But I do need to finish this track, because a lot of people have told me that this track's really good, and like it's something that they could hear in a club or on the charts or whatever, which is awesome. But it's just that drop. I need to get that drop right in my own head, or it won't. I won't be able to finish it. And this bit gets a bit overcomplicated and it doesn't need it. Yeah, I know Nexus 2 does. But I wasn't using Nexus 2, I was using Nexus 1. It's just so underwhelming, that drop. It feels like it's like yeah, and it's just like it's difficult. I just couldn't get there. I know, like you said, less is more, which I might just not use Nexus. Like instead of like tomorrow, maybe I might do a live stream tomorrow, and we can have a look at this, and I'll probably get rid of Nexus and try and get a different synth in there and see what we can do with that and try and get that finished, if that's something you want to watch. So obviously you're on American time, so I don't know what time will be best for you. Like, would it be, so you're just going to bed now, so it's probably 8 hours, so it's going to be probably tomorrow night when's the best time for you, which is a bit crap. The build-up is perfect. Honestly, the build-up, the vocals, the pluck, the bass is all perfect. It's just that drop. I just need to get that drop out of the way.
Get the fuck up.
See, even the structure is there for that track. It's got a beginning, middle, end, break. Everything's there. It's in place. It's just that drop. It's so close to being finished. It makes me feel sad that I never finished it. It's 4:13 AM right now, so convert that to whatever your time is. So we're 7 hours. I'm 7 hours in front of you then. Right. Okay. We'll see what we can do tomorrow. Any chance I could join the stream tomorrow? I can help. I've been producing over 3 years in Logic now, and I think I could help. What do you mean by join the stream? You mean like go in a call or something? I don't know how that would work with creating the tracks. It would be very hard for me to hear what I'm doing on the track as well as listen to you. I don't know what you mean by co-stream. I'm like in the future. I am. We've got flying cars already. You wait 7 hours, man. It's gonna be great for you. Yeah, Reese, I'm kind of new to the whole streaming thing, so I don't know what you mean by co-stream. When people say they do collaborations with people and that, I find it, I don't get how they do it. Do they kind of just work on it on the project and then send it to the other guy and then they go from there, or do they both work on separate projects and then send each other? Like, how do they get it into the same project? It always baffles me that. Like, I know it's a lot easier if you're there together. That's obviously easier, which I want to do. I want to start collaborating with people. I just don't know how, what the logistics of it is. Yeah, guys, so like I said about 20 minutes ago, I'm going to call it a day for this stream, and hopefully from this video, if people watch it back from my subscribers, then hopefully we get some more people leaving comments below. If you're watching this, leave your comments below with the tracks that you want me to have a look at, like we did for Logan's track today. And be very good to keep that ball rolling. So make sure you, even if you're watching this a year in the future, just still leave a comment below, and I'll add that to my folder. And then on the next stream, we'll go through and I'll just work my way down the list, going through it, and we'll spend a couple of hours doing it. And it's really good for everybody to see how other people are working, see what we can do to improve those tracks together. Not just me, but you know, people can comment and say what they think would be really good in that so-and-so track or whatever. And feel free to send me more than one track. It doesn't just have to be one and done. You can send me your whole list and I'll just go through them, which will be fun. So yeah, I'm going to end the stream now. Thank you very much for watching. Logan, Reese, you've been here for a while, so thank you very much for your continued support. I know you guys have been watching me for a while, and it's greatly appreciated. I never thought I'd get this far when I created like one YouTube video like years and years ago without me even talking. I never dreamed it would have got this far. So thank you very much for your continued support. And to anybody else who's watching, thank you for watching this video. It's greatly appreciated, your views on YouTube. Like I say, leave comments below, try and get involved, and it'll be a better experience for us all. So I'll see you later, guys. Thank you very much, and ciao.